The NBA sometimes makes the impossible seem like it has to happen. A two-time MVP stuck on a team that's not doing well. A team that's a total mess even though they've won a championship before. And a superstar whose loyalty might finally be coming to an end. Lakers Nation, we're living in a time when things might be working out for us in a way we haven't seen since 2018. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your best place for breaking news. Special looks at the game and all the latest news about our Los Angeles Lakers. I'm bringing you something today that's been building under the surface for months. A situation that could completely change the whole NBA, and a plan that would instantly shoot the Lakers back into being a team that can win a championship. What I'm about to share needs you to understand everything about it. The history, the patterns, and what's happening right now. So stay focused, because this is the kind of story that could shape the next time in Lakers basketball. Let me take you back to a time when loyalty in the NBA still meant something. When a superstar staying with the team that picked him was celebrated, not questioned. Giannis Antetokounmpo arrived in Milwaukee as the 15th pick in 2013. A new player from Greece with amazing body skills but not much fine-tuning. Over the years, he turned himself into one of the most powerful players the league has ever seen. 2 MVP awards, a Defensive Player of the Year trophy, and most importantly, an NBA championship in 2021 that gave Milwaukee its first title in 50 years. Giannis became more than just a player for the Bucks. He became the team, the city's hero, and a symbol of what loyalty and getting better could do in today's basketball. But here's what most people don't know. And this is where our story really starts. Even during those best years, even when Giannis was making his name in Milwaukee, there were quiet talks that his promise to the Bucks wasn't as strong as it seemed. According to reports from NBA insider Jake Fisher back in 2020, before the championship run that seemed to lock his future in Wisconsin, Giannis was already thinking about other places. 2 teams specifically got his attention. The Dallas Mavericks, where he could team up with rising superstar Luka Doncic, and the Miami Heat, a team with a history of winning and a winning culture that he liked. Think about the timing of that for a moment. This was 2020, right before Giannis signed his huge contract with Milwaukee. The Bucks were coming off bad losses in the playoffs. People were asking if they could build a championship-level team around him. And Giannis was really thinking about his choices. The fact that he was looking at Miami and Dallas tells you something very important about how he thinks. He wasn't just thinking about staying comfortable in Milwaukee. He was thinking about his place in history, about championships, about putting himself in a spot to fight for titles every year. Of course, Giannis ended up staying in Milwaukee. He signed that giant contract. The Bucks went on their championship run in 2021. And for a while, it seemed like the loyalty risk had worked out for everyone. Milwaukee got to keep their star player. Giannis got his championship and made his name. And the NBA got a nice story about a superstar staying with his first team. But championships have a way of hiding problems underneath. And the issues that worried Giannis back in 2020 never really went away. They just got covered up for a little while by winning it all. Fast forward to today, and the situation in Milwaukee has gotten worse, to a point no one could have guessed just a few years ago. The Bucks are now at 10 wins and 15 losses, putting them 10th in the Eastern Conference. Let that sink in for a moment. A team with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, 2 real superstars in their best years, is barely holding on to a spot to even try to get into the playoffs. They've lost 10 of their last 12 games. The team chemistry looks broken. The strong defense that defined their championship season has completely disappeared. And there's a growing feeling that this group of players just doesn't work together. Giannis himself has been amazing on his own. Through 17 games this season, he's averaging 28.9 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. Those are MVP-level numbers, the kind of play that should have a team fighting at the top of the conference. But basketball is a team game, and being great by yourself can only take you so far when the other players aren't working, when the coaching isn't connecting, and when the team's direction seems unclear. Giannis is doing everything he can, and it's not nearly enough to keep the Bucks winning. This is where the guessing really starts to get stronger, and this is where the Lakers need to be paying very close attention. When a superstar of Giannis's level is stuck on a team that's clearly not working, when his chance to win a championship is being wasted on a team that can't compete, history tells us that change has to happen. We've seen this before. Kevin Durant leaving Oklahoma City, Anthony Davis making his way out of New Orleans, James Harden asking for trades from Houston and Brooklyn. Superstars in today's NBA don't just sit around and watch their best years get thrown away. They take control of their futures and make moves to places where they can compete for championships. The question isn't if Giannis will eventually want out of Milwaukee. The question is when and where. And Lakers Nation, this is where things get really interesting for us. Los Angeles has always been a place where superstars want to go. It's in our blood as a team. From Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Shaquille O'Neal to LeBron James. The Lakers have always gotten the biggest names in basketball because of our winning history, our big city, our team's great name, and our ability to put stars in spots where they can compete for championships every year. Right now, the Lakers are in an interesting spot. We're good, but not the favorites to win it all. We have LeBron James, still playing amazingly well but clearly near the end of his career. We have Anthony Davis as a real superstar when he's healthy. And we have other players who are solid but not amazing. We're a team that's one superstar away from being real championship contenders. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is exactly the kind of special talent that would change our path. Imagine for a moment what a Lakers team with Giannis would look like. You'd have the most powerful player on both offense and defense in basketball. A player who can score easily near the basket, guard all 5 positions, help others score, and take over games in ways that very few players in NBA history have been able to do. Put him with Anthony Davis, and you'd have maybe the most scary front court pair in the league. 2 players who can take over on both ends of the court, switch on anyone on defense, and create big problems for every other team. Add in whatever other players the Lakers could keep or get, and you're talking about instantly being in the mix to win a championship. The money side of getting Giannis would be complicated. There's no hiding that. He's on a huge contract that pays him over $50 million each season, and the Lakers would need to move a lot of other player salaries to make the numbers work. But here's the thing. When a player like Giannis becomes available, you find a way to make it work. You move whatever players you need to move. You include whatever future picks are needed. You do whatever it takes because chances like this don't come around often. The Lakers have players with contracts they can trade, like D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and others who could be put together to match the salary. We have future first-round picks that could be added to make the deal better. And most importantly, we have the draw of Los Angeles, the Lakers' name. and the chance to play with Anthony Davis in a place where Giannis could get the most out of his success on the court and his business off the court. That's a strong offer, especially for a player who's already shown he would think about big cities like Miami back in 2020. The timing could actually work out perfectly for the Lakers. Giannis has 3 years left on his current contract. But there's growing talk that this could be his last season in Milwaukee if things don't get much better fast. The Bucks are facing a very important decision. Do they try to fix this situation and convince Giannis to stay? Or do they see that their chance is gone and look to trade him while his value is still as high as it can be? If Milwaukee decides to move on, the Lakers need to be first in line with a strong offer. There's also the LeBron James part to think about here. LeBron and Giannis respect each other. They've played against each other in big playoff moments. And LeBron has said good things about Giannis's game many times. While LeBron is in the later part of his career, the chance to play with Giannis could be very attractive for both players. LeBron could take on more of a passing role, letting Giannis be the main scorer while still playing very well. And Giannis would benefit from LeBron's basketball smarts, passing, and championship experience. The Anthony Davis partnership is another reason this is so interesting. AD and Giannis playing together would create a defense that can do many things, which the league has almost never seen. Both players can guard different positions, protect the basket, switch to guards on the outside, and be the base of great defensive plans. On offense, they'd go together perfectly. Giannis attacking the paint and making chances, AD spacing the floor with his shots from mid-range and his ability to shoot three-pointers. And both players grabbing rebounds and creating extra shots. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds too good to be true. This is just hoping. There's no way Milwaukee trades Giannis to the Lakers. And I get that doubt. I really do. But let me remind you of something. People said the same thing about Anthony Davis. The Pelicans were never going to trade their star player to the Lakers. It would never happen. We were just getting ready to be disappointed. And then it happened. The Lakers made it happen by going after him hard, smart handling of what they had to trade, and the draw of our team and city. The NBA world changes fast, and situations that seem impossible in December can become real by February's trade deadline or the next summer. The key is being ready, having your trade pieces in order, and being ready to act when the chance comes up. The Lakers' bosses, led by Rob Pelinka, have shown they're willing to be bold when star players become available. They did it with AD. They've been active in trying to get other stars, and there's every reason to believe they'd go all out on trying to get Giannis if he becomes available. There's also the history of Milwaukee trading away superstars. This is the team that let Kareem Abdul-Jabbar go to the Lakers back in 1975. A trade that worked out pretty well for Los Angeles, as Kareem won 5 championships with us and became one of the best Lakers ever. History has a funny way of happening again. And while I'm not saying Giannis to the Lakers has to happen, I am saying that Milwaukee has shown in the past that they're willing to move on from special talents when the situation calls for it. The other teams that could be trying for Giannis are worth thinking about too. Miami was on his list back in 2020, and they still have things to trade and the team culture to make a good offer. The Heat have shown they can build teams that can win championships fast, and their stable team is attractive. Dallas with Luka Doncic would make an incredible pair, and the Mavericks have young players and picks to offer. Teams like the Warriors, Nets, or even surprise teams could show up if Giannis becomes available. But here's why the Lakers have something better than all those possible teams trying to get him. We offer the perfect mix of city appeal, team greatness, existing star power, and championship setup. Giannis wouldn't be coming to Los Angeles to build something from nothing. He'd be joining a team with Anthony Davis, a solid group of other players, and bosses who know how to build championship teams. He'd be playing in the second biggest TV market in the country, with chances for his name to grow and business deals that smaller cities can't match. And he'd be wearing the purple and gold, joining a line of Lakers legends that includes Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, and LeBron. The effect on the Western Conference would be huge. The Lakers would immediately jump to the top of the championship talk, joining teams like Denver, Phoenix, and Golden State as real title contenders. The regular season would become about building team chemistry and staying healthy, knowing that come playoff time, a Giannis, AD, and LeBron trio would be nearly impossible to beat in a 7-game series. The defensive potential alone would be championship level. And on offense, you'd have many players who can make their own shots and take over games when needed. For Giannis himself, joining the Lakers would offer something Milwaukee can no longer give: a clear path to many championships. He already has 1 ring, which is more than many all-time greats can say. But players of his level are thinking about their place in history, about where they rank among the best ever, about how many championships they can win. If he stays in Milwaukee and wastes the next 3 years on a team that can't compete, that's 3 years of his best years gone forever. But if he comes to LA and wins 2 or 3 championships with AD and LeBron, suddenly we're talking about a top 15 all-time player, a first-choice Hall of Famer with many rings, and a name that goes beyond his Milwaukee years. The Lakers fans would welcome Giannis right away. We love greatness. We see special talent, and we'd welcome him with open arms as the next superstar to lead this team. The same fans who cheered for LeBron's arrival, who yelled for Kobe's championships, who watched Magic and Kareem rule in the 80s, would fill Crypto.com Arena every night to watch Giannis do his thing in purple and gold. That's the kind of basketball feeling that superstars want, and it's something Milwaukee simply can't copy. So, where do we go from here? The near future involves watching Milwaukee's season keep falling apart, watching Giannis's body language and what he says publicly, and seeing if the Bucks can turn things around, or if this really is the start of the end. The trade deadline in February could be important if Milwaukee decides to make big changes, though trading Giannis at the deadline seems unlikely because of how big such a move would be. More likely, we're looking at the offseason as the time when Giannis's future gets decided one way or another. The Lakers need to be getting ready now, having talks inside the team about what a trade package would look like, which players they wouldn't trade versus who could be moved, and what the team would look like with Giannis on it. Rob Pelinka and the bosses should be doing their research, building relationships, and putting the Lakers in the best spot to be the most attractive place if and when Giannis decides he wants out of Milwaukee. Lakers Nation, I want to hear from you on this. Do you believe Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Lakers is a real possibility, or am I just giving you championship dreams that won't come true? What would you be willing to give up in a trade to get him? Would you move D'Angelo Russell, many first-round picks, and young players to make it happen? How do you think a Giannis, AD, and LeBron trio would work together? And would that be enough to win many championships? Do you think Giannis's loyalty to Milwaukee is strong enough to keep him there even with the team's problems? Or do you believe every player has a breaking point when their best years are being wasted. This is the kind of chance that defines teams, and the Lakers must be ready to act strongly when the time comes. If you want to stay on top of every step in the Giannis situation, every Lakers trade possibility, and all the breaking news about our championship try, you need to be subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report right now. Hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell so you never miss an update, and drop a like on this video if you found this talk helpful. Share this with every Lakers fan who needs to understand what could be coming. Comment below with your thoughts on Giannis to LA, and let's build the strongest Lakers community on YouTube. Lake Show forever, and I'll see you in the next video with more special coverage and championship-focused talk. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. We're doing awesome. Please subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Have an awesome day.